Good morning, everyone. It is so wonderful to be able to welcome everyone back together after such a well-deserved winter break. I hope you were all able to take some time and do whatever it is that brings you joy and rest and energy for the winter semester up ahead. I had the blessing of getting to spend a couple days here with my family in Michigan before my husband and I traveled to Florida, where it was 40 degrees, to spend time with my in-laws, my husband's siblings, and our nieces, and watch U of M tragically lose the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. And while we were very fortunate to get to make that trip after a week with 8 adults and several kids under the age of 10 in one house, I can very strongly and emphatically say how happy I am to be with you all here in Dearborn today. So, in addition, we have several trustees who I know are happy to be with us today. I'm going to introduce each one of them, and then we'll give them a collective round of applause and an HFC welcome. We have Trustee Ali Bazzi, who joined us in the fall semester as a trustee. We have our Vice Chair, Mary Petlichkoff, and Trustee Pat D'Ambrosio. Let's give them a big HFC welcome. Thank you for being here. We certainly appreciate your support. We usually start these events by announcing our latest enrollment numbers, and I will keep that tradition going by sharing some good news. As of today, students have registered for 109,209 credit hours for the winter, and this is about on par with where we were at this time last year. So our winter enrollment goal is 113,689 credits, so we are actually 96% of the way towards our enrollment goal, which is great news in advance of the semester starting. Of course, we will continue to add students and credit hours up until our census date, which is January 27th, so I have every confidence that we are going to be able to not only hit our enrollment goal, but likely surpass it. I'm grateful for everyone's hard work on this, including those who are going to be working our Cyber Saturday event this weekend, when we always see a big push of enrollment. Winter classes, of course, they'll begin on Monday, and I know we're all looking forward to a wonderful semester. Before we get into our college updates, I'd like us to all thank Bruce Wall, Jonathan Thompson, and their teams for the amazing breakfast that they once again provided, as well as our facilities team, who made sure that we had a great space to gather this morning. Thank you all for your efforts. So I have been serving now as the interim president for just over 6 months, and this is my second State of the College from this vantage point. As you know from my year-end message in December, it continues to be a great honor and a privilege for me to serve in this role alongside all of you. And as predicted back in the fall, we made it through the semester, and not only did we make it, but we have so much to celebrate, so many accomplishments. While I was traveling last week, I was reflecting back on all that occurred during the fall semester, and several of these standout moments are, of course, things that we are going to cover in our presentation today, including our Higher Learning Commission visit that happened in October, and all of the progress that we have made towards our new building project. But as I was thinking back, it struck me that, life is really made up of the details. It is not just the moments that we can quantify on a PowerPoint presentation and talk about at these events. And, these are things that don't always get celebrated enough. And perhaps it's because we do so many amazing things here at the college, just as a matter of the way that we do business, the way that we serve our students and serve our community. But these are things that certainly deserve some attention and deserve to be recognized. So I'm going to share just a small sampling of things that come to my mind as I think back to all that we accomplished during the fall. And this is just, again, a small list, because I could look across this room at every single person's program and department and be able to identify many amazing things that have happened. But here are some of the things that kind of stood out to me. In September, we held an event here in F Building called HFC 24. Raise your hand if you were part of that endeavor. For those of you who are not familiar, HFC 24 is an innovative day-long celebration of collaboration across departments, including studio arts, graphic design, music, theater, English, and many others. And at this event, our students who were participating came on a Friday evening. They were given a prompt. They had just then 24 short hours to turn that prompt into something of their own creation, be that a music composition, a short theater production, a piece of art, a sculpture, and any permutation thereof, often with the students working across disciplines together. And that event culminated on Saturday evening with the students having to come together, stand on a stage, and then publicly perform or showcase whatever it was that they had produced in that 24 hours. And as you might imagine, with 24 hours not being a long period of time to be able to do this, nothing was flawless that was presented. But what was so amazing and what really struck me was, number one, what students were able to accomplish in that 24-hour period, but more importantly, how supportive they all were of each other. Excuse me. How supportive they all were of each other as they were engaging in this performance and this exhibition. It really stuck with me as a powerful example of what we can all accomplish when people come together with a collaboration mindset, with the mindset of being good teammates and with kindness and with empathy. And that is something that I want to carry forward with me, certainly into this winter semester, and I hope everyone else can keep that in their mind as well. So that was in September. In October, we were in the throes of our Higher Learning Commission preparation and for the site visit, and you were all there. You know how chaotic that was and how that was an all-hands-on-deck exercise. And just about 2 weeks prior to the site visit happening, we're running around, everything is crazy, working a lot of hours, and Logan Morales, who's sitting over here, project manager for institutional strategy, Logan was instrumental in our Higher Learning Commission preparation. She and I decided to just call a timeout, and one Friday evening, we attended a planetarium show together. And if you've not been in our planetarium, you are missing out. It was such a wonderful and engaging opportunity to sit back. You're in these comfortable chairs, you get to reflect on the universe, and all while being, again, engaged in the learning that also comes from that. So I highly encourage you. We have wonderful things going on in that area. If you have not visited, take your friends, take your family, and enjoy. In November, I had the privilege of attending a student council meeting here, and our student council is under the guidance and the leadership of Dr. Cassandra Fluker from Student Activities. And I learned at that meeting that for the first time in many years, this academic year, our student council is fully staffed, so to speak, and they are so hungry to be involved. The students spoke so eloquently and so passionately about what their goals are as a student council and what they hope to achieve not only this winter semester, but also moving forward. What they spoke about was how they want to be ambassadors of all of the services and the supports that we offer across campus. They want to get the word out about all of the really great things that we are doing here to help serve students. And they want to increase inclusion and belonging on campus and make sure that HFC feels like home to every student who attends here. So I encourage you, if you come across any of these students in your travels throughout the semester, please encourage them to keep going with this work and help them with their plight in any way that you can. Lastly, and I could, of course, go on and on with naming these events. Excuse me. In December, we had a great event over in the 5101 restaurant that was hosted by our hospitality department. I'd like to give a shout out to them. Many of you know this event as the Holiday Tea, and you may have noticed that we did a little bit of a refresh on that event this year, changed things up a little bit. I did hear more than one probably well-placed joke about how if you put Lori in charge of food for an event, the vibe becomes happy holidays, have a salad. But it was amazing. And of course, what we enjoyed the most was the fellowship that came from being able to just come together and spend some time as friends and colleagues before we headed off for the winter break. So this is just a small sampling of things that came to my mind as things that brought me joy and warmth in the fall semester, and again, are not things that we quantify on a PowerPoint presentation at these events. As we head into the winter term, I really encourage you all to look for your own versions of those events, those moments that bring you joy, and those moments that showcase what we can accomplish when we are good teammates to each other and we focus on serving students. I promise you those moments are everywhere, and when you come across them, tell people, brag about them, shout, from the rooftops that HFC is the very best place to learn and to work, as evidenced by the news and the updates that we will now shift to for our presentation today. We have many things to celebrate together, including, as is tradition at these events, we have new teammates, we have teammates who are in new roles, we have retirements, and we also have achievement of tenure. So, as is tradition at these events, as I call your name, please stand up and stay standing so that we can give one, again, collective round of applause to all of our new teammates. You may recall I made a joke at the fall State of the College about how character building it is to have to stand through 2 slides of names being read. That holds true, still character building, and if nothing else, I will at least have some company in standing. So join me, if you will, as I read your name if you are present, and then we will applaud everyone at the end. Starting with Hassan Ahmad, ITS. Mary Ann Apley, BEPID. Susan Barnes, BEPID. Michael Bell, BEPID. Kimberly Bell, Financial Services. Kirk Bluebow, ITS. William Budnick, STEM. Lynn Burke, BEPID. Amanda Chahine, Marcom Web Team. Miguel Sid, BEPID. Fernando Covarrubias, Facilities. Dakella Croft, Facilities. John Daniel, SOLA. Keith Davis, BEPID. Ala El-Morsi, BEPID. Alan Farhood, BEPID. Cheyenne Fry, Cashier. Ambike Gajan, STEM. Dakota Gardner, Financial Services. Selena Griswold, BEPID. Arthur Abegbu, BEPID. Harut Ishkanian, Enrollment Services. Russell Jones, SOLA. Karen Larson-Volz, SOLA. Maria Lopez, Detroit Promise. Peyton Lynch, Learning Lab. Kaylee McLean, Labor Relations, HR. Eddie McClendon, Detroit Promise. Therese McKay, Help Desk. Janella Morgan, Food Services. Amani Musabli, Student Affairs. William Norris, SOLA. Benjamin Richards, Financial Services. John Rinaldi, Campus Safety. Lonnie Rourke, BEPID. Jamie Romeo, Purchasing. Shri Sai Shreya Sathasiva Petkar, BEPID. Jesse Saliot, Campus Safety. James Scales, Campus Safety. Ken Shepard, SOLA. Lynette Snyder, HHS. Michael Takich, Financial Services. Javon Wells, Facilities. Brian Wilkerson, Facilities, and Frederick Williams, HHS. Welcome to HFC. This slide reflects all of our teammates who have taken on new roles at the college since our fall gathering. So same drill, as I read your name, if you are here, please stand and remain standing so that we can recognize you with a round of applause. Megan Akari, Assistant to the Dean and AD of STEM. Kelly Baritono, Enrollment Services Coordinator. Vicki Bissett, Instructional Technology Manager. Andrew Esley, Facilities Engineer. Michelle Hill, Enrollment Services Specialist. Stephanie Johnson, Records Associate 2. Armida Kiluk, Orientation Specialist. Samantha Middleton, Accountant. Molly Mildenberger, Academic Advisor. Katrina Minnis, Enrollment Services Coordinator. Brandon Novak, Academic Operations Specialist. Denise Pichet, Academic Operations Coordinator and Systems Administrator. Moral Pilgrim, Assistant Manager, Student Accounts. Jamaikas Ramsey, Facilities Engineer. Josue Salas, Student Support Professional. Bridget Smith-Bodos, Academic Operations Specialist. Shafila Thompson, Student Support Professional. Kayla Walsh, Student Support Professional. Andam Wishalek, Building Operator, and Rhea York, Assistant Director, Labor and Employee Relations. Congratulations. We have 4 colleagues who have achieved tenure in the last semester, so I'd like to recognize and congratulate Marianne Trenzia, Nursing Instructor. Stand up if you're here. Sarah Placha, Biology Instructor. Aaron Ramey, Biology Instructor. And Joseph Zarka, Manufacturing Instructor. Congratulations. We also have several retirees, and 2 who will be retiring this semester. Starting with those who have already retired and who very well might not be here, might have better things that they're doing this morning, but we'll read them anyway and congratulate them if they are here. Pam Awi, Instructor from Health Sciences. We have Leanne Campbell, Academic Affairs Assistant in BEPID. Deb Gates, Counselor. Sharon Pearl Picking, Manager of Financial Aid, and Art Treasel, Building Operator. We do have now 2 colleagues whose retirement is forthcoming, one at the end of this week. Brian Boehm, Associate Director of Finance and Budget, who I know is not with us this morning. He's already decided that he has better things to do than be at State of the College. But Brian served us as our budget manager for over 11 years and has done an excellent job in keeping us all together financially, and we are very grateful for his service to the institution. We also have Pam Hall, manager of the College Store, who will be retiring at the end of March. Is Pam here with us? Well, Pam is retiring with 40 years of service to Henry Ford College. And as many of us think of, Pam Hall is the bookstore, right? So huge congratulations to Pam. I now want to congratulate our teammates who have recently completed their doctoral degrees. Earning a doctoral degree reflects the highest level of academic achievement, and we want to publicly honor our teammates who have earned their degrees while also working and serving our employees and our students. Starting with Norman C. Hearn Sr., counselor here at HFC. He earned his EDD in leadership from the University of the Cumberlands in Williamsburg, Kentucky. His dissertation title was Examining the Academic Success of African American Male College Students, the Role of Social Support, Intrinsic Motivation, and Self-Efficacy. You'll see on the slide here that he is pictured with his family at Ford Field, and since they all had the good taste to wear Lions gear, we will give him a pass on the fact that he appears to be wearing a Steelers jersey in this picture. Congratulations, Dr. Hearns. We also have Emily Pulowski from nursing. She earned her Doctor of Nursing Practice from Northern Kentucky University in Highland Heights, Kentucky. Her DNP scholarly project was titled Reducing Psychiatric Inpatient Falls. And you can see here Emily's joy in this photo, which is from our nursing pinning ceremony as Emily pinned one of our nursing graduates. Congratulations, Dr. Pulowski. And now we will move into some updates that I'd like to share with you, starting with the outcome of our Higher Learning Commission accreditation visits. After a year-long preparation that involved almost every single person in this room, the entire college hosted a peer review team of representatives from the Higher Learning Commission in late October. And this critical accreditation, as you know, happens once every 10 years at the college. Our last one was in 2019. And it's really a core part of our ability to continue to operate effectively, be able to receive federal funding in the form of financial aid, and serve our students in our community. Accreditation also assures the public that the college meets a set of quality standards and that we are prepared to fully serve. So some of you may know that the final report from HLC was quite favorable for us because admittedly, Lori got ahead of herself and couldn't stop bragging about the final report in advance of this event today. But The major accomplishments that we are celebrating in this final report is that we earned a rating of MET across all of our criteria and sub-criteria, which is the highest rating. We are not required to engage in any interim monitoring, which is different from our last report, so we're very proud of that. We've also been given an opportunity to choose our accreditation pathway, or the process that we go through to undertake accreditation, which really is a signal of HLC's confidence in us as an institution. So all of this is worthy of celebration, and that celebration is a recognition of so much hard work from all of you in this room. So as I noted in my October message to you about accreditation, this comprehensive evaluation process is not just about maintaining accreditation. As always, this is an opportunity for us to continue to reflect, to self-assess for continuous improvement while also celebrating our many successes. And even though we did earn the highest ratings of MET across all categories, of course that does not mean that our peer review team did not find a couple of recommendations for us as we move forward. So I will be working with the departments and the areas on any of the suggestions that the HLC peer review team had for us in the coming months, so we can get things underway as far as any continuous improvement that we want to engage in. But on the whole, we should be extremely proud of this report and of the outcome. This QR code will take you to our HLC website within our HFC page, and you can see the final report for yourself on that site. Next up, I'd like to talk about CourseDog. So under the leadership of Dr. Michael Nealon, and with a lot of help from many people across the college, CourseDog is now one full semester into implementation. And as you likely recall, CourseDog is designed to integrate the ways that we propose and edit courses, manage curriculum changes, schedule and edit our class sections, and update our official college catalog every year. This is an integrated platform that benefits students, faculty, and staff by really modernizing our operations and reducing a lot of manual work that people had been engaging in, really just improving efficiency all across the board. And one of the key benefits of CourseDog is to give us insights that we talked about at the Fall State of the College through actionable data and analytics that we can pull from the system about what courses our students need so that we can schedule appropriately and keep students on track to success. If you have any questions about CourseDog, please reach out to our Academic Operations Coordinator. Many of you are aware that the college will be transitioning away from the Moodle Learning Management System, or LMS, simply because Moodle can no longer be supported. We have chosen D2L, we have chosen D2L Brightspace as our new learning management system, and this was after a rigorous and very collaborative approach that was led by Dr. Allison Buchanan and our Instructional Technology Committee in partnership with many faculty and staff. So the ITC started off this process by identifying options that might be viable for the institution. They then conducted evaluations of those options, including live presentations, opportunities for faculty to engage in sandboxes, if you will, and test out the products, and then gathering information from feedback surveys. So after considering all of the options, the feedback, as well as functionality, ease of use, vendor support, integration into our other systems here at the college, the ITC ultimately recommended D2L Brightspace as our preferred LMS. Brightspace stood out as really being on the cutting edge of instructional technology design, including several tools such as closed-loop AI, which uses only specified information sources, a peer review module that will be used by at least 300 courses here at HFC, and again, analytics that will further support many aspects of student success. The QR code on this page will take you to a 90-minute demo of Brightspace if you would like to learn more. In December, our board approved a contract for D2L Brightspace, and we expect to begin transitioning to this LMS over the next 18 months with full implementation by July of 2027. Those of you who work closely with our Institutional Research and Business Intelligence Department likely know that we have transitioned our reporting platform from a very clunky and antiquated product that we called Web Focus into a product called Informer by a company called Intrinsic. This transition occurred in December, and the implementation process is still underway, but we have granted at this point access to Informer to any of our colleagues who had been using the Web Focus system. This QR code here will take you to the Informer login screen. If any of you have not yet received that access to Informer, please reach out to the institutional research team and they'd be happy to get you set up with access to that product. So this is going to allow us to continue to make a lot of changes and improvements to our reporting, to our dashboards, to visualizations, and just to the way that we access data across the college. Many of you may recall that under the Web Focus years, it was a pretty clunky process. Oftentimes you would have to work directly with a member of the IR team to get all of your data requests. With Informer, the hope is that we are going to be able to have more self-serve, if you will. You will be able to create reports and dashboards and views that you would like to see when you log into the system, and really be able to tailor things to the analytics and the data points that you need to be successful in your roles here at the college. So this is still an underway process. Again, the transition just occurred in December, so we are going to be working through this throughout the winter term, but we are confident that this is going to help us make better data-informed decisions at the college. Let's talk about the SEMC project. So for about 2 years, we have been discussing and planning to create what we had been calling the Southeast Michigan Student Success Center, or the SEMC, or the SEMSEC, depending on who you're talking to on campus. But as the project evolved and as we have begun gathering feedback from all of you across campus, Cabinet has been discussing shortening the name and really focusing it and just simply calling it the Student Success Center. So this will reflect the core goals of the project, which involve multiple buildings, as you know, and many related initiatives. But the project success factors remain unchanged, and those are to put students first, model the success journey, welcome the entire community, support collaboration, be a place of belonging, be adaptable for the future, and radically transform student success. So many of our Welcome Center teams are going to be moving into these new spaces as we renovate the A building, the K building, we demolish the N building, and we build a new one-story structure on the east side of the main campus. This project is going to continue to help us serve and welcome students here, as well as our broader community, and of course it's going to help us remain focused on all aspects of student success. So I'm happy to say we are now at the part where we're going to show you some external renderings of the buildings and the spaces that are going to be part of that project. This is some of the work that we have been engaged in with our architecture and construction teams throughout the fall semester. Now, several campus teams had an opportunity to preview some of this in December, and now I'm happy to be able to share it with everyone. So these renderings are intended to give you kind of an idea of what the footprint and general appearance is going to be of that area that now includes this new Student Success Center. But they are not intended to be final in any way, shape, or form, so just know that as we look at these, things are still continuing to evolve. So this first slide is an overhead view with Evergreen Road on the right, and you can see it highlights the buildings that will be directly affected by the renovations and the new construction. Note that you will not see Building N on this slide because that is going to be demolished in the summer of 2027 to make space for this new SSC building and a reimagined outdoor space. And one really exciting part that I have to note with Buildings A and B, as many of you know, Buildings A and B have been unique here at the college over the years in the sense that they are separated by a glass wall. You can see right through from one building to the other, yet you cannot cross through that glass wall. You have to go outside and come back around. So that has led to, of course, some challenges and some confusion and just some eyebrow raising over the years as to how that came about. I am happy to report that in this renovation, those two buildings are going to be connected indoors and we'll be able to walk through. So here's another view from the opposite angle, looking southeast towards the renovation area with Evergreen now on the left. And it shows a slightly new entrance to campus, a new configuration there, as well as the footprint of the new construction and a look at how the SSC building is going to be connected to Building A with this bridge component. This view is of the K building and the re-envisioned exterior spaces where the sunken area now sits between K and M buildings. So that area is going to remain as a sunken area, but you will note that the swimming pool is no longer going to be a part of that courtyard. That is going to be filled in and look a little bit different. So we're excited about that. I know facilities is thrilled about that. This is another view of the K building and some re-envisioned exterior spaces, some of the walkways that are going to connect SSC and A and B buildings. And I will note on this slide, so you'll see that K building we're eliminating that walkway with the really rusted railings that we're now navigating. K building is going to be bumped out a little bit, which gives us some more space in the buildings and also eliminates that walkway space. You will also see that the facade of the building is going to look different. It is going to be reimagined from an energy efficiency standpoint as a true modernization of the building. One of the things that we talked about in the fall here at State of the College was if we were going to renovate K, renovation did not mean just painting some walls and putting new flooring in. It was going to be a true renovation. So you can see in this image here that the outside of the building is going to be changing as well. Here's an example of some re-envisioned exterior space between the new SSC and K buildings, and I will note that all of the landscaping that you see in these slides is a placeholder. We've not engaged in any final decisions on what landscaping is going to look like, but just to highlight that we will have some very nice exterior green spaces for our students and our community for gathering. So one of the really great elements of this project is that we have been able to proceed with a growth mentality, even in the face of having to shift gears with this project. And we've had to right size a little bit and pivot, but I think we can all be proud of where we are with this project. The first really visible changes to our campus are going to begin in May, which will be here before we know it. We are going to be starting with the renovation of the A building at the conclusion of this semester. So between now and then, our steering committee, which is comprised of Vice President Holly Diamond, Dean Brad Romans, and Facilities Director Ruben Bruckley, they are going to continue to work with our architects, with our construction partners, and we'll be keeping you all informed as the project continues. We invite you to visit the public-facing website, which you can access from this QR code, and we will be updating that website as new information is made available. All of the updates that I have shared so far are all in support of our strategic plan, which, as you know, we always do a refresh and talk about at the State of the College events. So work to achieve our 2025 to 2027 strategic plan is well underway. As I described it back in the fall, this plan, as you know, is fully focused on student success, and it's based on our ABIDE model, which is advancing belonging, inclusion, diversity, and equity. Our strategic plan for 25 to 27 really is, as many of you know, it is a refresh of our 24 or 22 to 24 strategic plan, and we're really taking into account some of the things that we learned from that original plan as we move forward with this one. I am continuously impressed by the dedication that you've all shown, towards helping students succeed and toward achieving the goals of this plan. And there are intensive efforts that are happening all across the college in support of this strategic model. So here's a quick summary of those priorities, just again as a refresh of what we are hoping to achieve with this strategic plan. We have a priority of access to increase enrollment, especially for underrepresented and historically underserved student populations. Retention, to achieve improved and equitable retention rates for all students by increased credit accumulation and student-focused supports. Completion, increase credential attainment and close completion equity gaps across all student populations. And transfer, achieve improved and equitable results regarding transfer and seamlessly transfer to a four-year college and university for any student who is seeking to earn a bachelor's degree. Each of these priorities has metrics that are tied to it, and I will not read all of the metrics in their entirety, but one thing that I do want to call out as it relates to the metrics of the strategic plan, now that we have our new Informer data system up and running, we will be working with the institutional research team to develop dashboards that are going to reflect the progress towards our goals on the strategic plan. So look forward to that coming in the winter semester, but one item that I will highlight for you all today, just as a reminder, is that with the completion metric, our goal was to raise our institutional graduation rate above 25%. And this is one that has been a challenge to Henry Ford College over the years. Many of you recall not long ago when we were hovering at 6% graduation rate. Over the last several years, we have gone from about 10% graduation rate under the beginning of our strategic plan. Now we have surpassed that 25% mark. So what we are doing is working. That is, it's enormous. This QR code will take you to the strategic plan on our public-facing website, and as you likely recall, we have vice presidents who are overseeing each one of the strategic priorities here at the college. So if any of you are interested in engaging in any of this work, if you have any ideas for ways that we can improve access, retention, completion, or transfer, I encourage you to reach out to each of these individuals, share your ideas, and get involved. I want to share with you now a new concept that for strategic support work that Cabinet have been discussing and that we do plan to roll out in the winter semester. Unlike a traditional initiative, this one is not going to require a lot of heavy lifting towards change, although it is going to involve many of you on campus. It's called Caring Campus, and it's led by an organization called the Institute for Evidence-Based Change. And they don't like to use the term initiative when describing their work, as that can sometimes imply something short-term or an add-on to all of the work that you've already been doing. Instead, Caring Campus is really a nationwide movement to create a culture of caring and success across every touch point that a student has with the college to increase inclusion, belonging, and ultimately retention. Many institutions across the country have already seen enormous success, particularly in their retention and completion rates as it relates to Caring Campus, including here in Michigan. Here in Michigan, Delta College has fully implemented Caring Campus, and Oakland Community College is just in the beginning stages. So we are on the forefront of bringing this work to Michigan, and we're very excited about this. I went to a conference in the fall that highlighted this work, and I was so deeply impressed by how this concept of caring was really infused into every interaction, even at the conference. It was like being in a big hug for several days at this conference, and that is what we want to bring here to Henry Ford College. The first phase of this work will be focused specifically on our staff, and you can see the process here. It's a leadership kickoff, coaching sessions, a joint session, working groups, and then sustainability across the college. And one of the really cool things about Caring Campus is that this is work that is actually led by our staff. So this is something that we are going to be seeking participation for. We'll be doing kind of an all-call out to staff and who wants to be involved in some of this work. And it will be an initiative, or caught myself. It's not an initiative. It's a movement. It's going to be a movement that will be led by our staff here. This QR code will take you to the Caring Campus website through IEBC, where you can learn some more. Now I have a few leadership updates and staffing updates that I'd like to share with you. In early December, I informed you that our former Vice President and CFO, Kevin Howley, had left the college. And I want to thank our finance team's senior leadership for their efforts in keeping everything running smoothly. And these are individuals that we all know and love: Karen Schoen from Campus Safety, Ruben Bruckley from Facilities, Ryan Leewright from Finance, Joe Zitnick and Brian Johnson from ITS, and Dan Murray from Purchasing. So I would now like to share with you an update on the division's long-term leadership plan. With the board's support, we have set up a contract with a consultant who is very experienced, who is going to help us in kind of a three-part plan. First, we're going to work with this consultant to be able to identify interim leadership for this team. Next, we will then We will then hire that individual to be a long-term interim leader here at the college that will take us through until we have a permanent president in place who can then conduct a search for a permanent CFO. So the consultant that we have who is helping us identify options for interim leadership is a woman named Lisa Freiberger. Lisa served as the VP and CFO of Grand Rapids Community College for over 15 years. She also did a stint as their interim president, and she has extensive experience in all of the areas that are underneath that CFO umbrella. So I am working with Lisa in helping to identify candidates for interim VP opportunities. We will then make a selection from the people that she helps identify, and that person will be serving here on campus with us until we are able to launch a search for the permanent vice president with a permanent president in place. And I will keep you informed as, of course, we go through this process. Some of you also may know that in the Institutional Research and Business Intelligence Department, our former director, Dr. Jason Young, left the college in December for another opportunity. And I have asked Dr. Laura Willman to serve as the interim director of the department. Laura had been serving as the coordinator of institutional effectiveness since last year, but she originally joined the college in 2023 as a research analyst in IRBI. And many of you know Laura from her work in helping us get prepared for our Higher Learning Commission visit. She has done a great job with that. She will now lead the IRBI team and support the continuing implementation of Informer, fill vacancies on the team, and help us evaluate how we're going to move forward with the work in that department. I know Laura is not with us today, but when you see her, please give her congratulations on this interim role. My last staffing-related update is as it relates to academic services. So in order to best serve the college's academic administration needs moving forward, Dr. Nealon has reorganized the academic services area to address our emerging operational and systems needs. And this is a chart that shows what the new structure looks like for that team. Academic Services is now led by a coordinator of academic operations and systems administration, and this new coordinator is Denise Pichet, who you all know as serving many years as the project manager in the division. And in this role, Denise is going to be the primary subject matter expert and coordinator for systems, for policies, and administrative procedures within the division. So not dissimilar to the work that she has already been doing so successfully for us over the years. And the goal is really to centralize and optimize operations to enhance effectiveness and ultimately drive student success. Reporting directly to Denise, you will see we have an instructional technologies manager, Vicki Bissett, along with 3 academic operations specialists. 2 of these individuals are Bridget Smith-Bodos and Brendan Novak. The third candidate is going to be identified as soon as next week. These specialists are going to serve as the primary contact for core functions such as the catalog, curriculum, and syllabi from the perspective of managing systems and processes and documents, also course scheduling and compiling data in support of our academic program review and assessment processes. And this team is going to provide the specialized support really necessary to maintain smooth and responsive academic environment. Reporting to Vicki, we're going to have 3 academic operations associates, and these associates are going to provide administrative and operational support, serving as technical contacts for our LMS and instructional tools. They are going to manage also some key academic tasks, such as course scheduling and faculty workload, and they will most importantly be a first point of contact for faculty, staff, and students who need assistance with the LMS. So all of the incumbent Local 71 and SSA team members within academic services were strongly encouraged to apply for these positions that interested them. Incumbents were not automatically placed into any vacant positions. We did utilize our established HFC hiring processes to fill the coordinator, manager, specialist, and associate positions. And as of today, all former incumbent and interim Local 71 administrators are in their new roles. Academic Affairs is now in the process of filling the remaining SSA vacancies with interviews scheduled for this week, and we do hope to have those completed as soon as possible. As part of this reorganization process, I was recently asked if there would be any changes to CASEL and the work of that committee. And Dr. Nealon has told me that no, there are no changes planned to the work of CASEL. That will continue to operate as the excellent committee that it always has. Dr. Nealon and I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have about the reorganization. Lastly, our next update is the presidential search. So at its December 2025 regular meeting, the board discussed the details of the presidential search profile, which is the document that really describes the position and the qualifications required for the college president. Then on December 22nd, the job was posted publicly in collaboration with our third-party search team, Academic Search. Applications and nominations are going for the position through January 30th. And while there are still many steps yet to be completed, the board does anticipate that we will be able to announce a permanent president sometime in the spring with a start date likely between spring and July 1 of this year. You are always welcome to attend our public board meetings to learn more about this process. The presidential search is being discussed at each board meeting, and we will also continue to give you updates as this moves along. The next board meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, January 20th. We're always a day later than our normal Monday meetings in January because of the MLK holiday. So the presidential search website contains all of the public information related to the search and is accessible by the QR code on this slide. These are really the updates that I wanted to share with you today. It continues to be a privilege to serve this college alongside of you. And given that by the time we do our next State of the College, we will have a permanent president in place, I'm hopeful that you will indulge me just for a couple of minutes as I say some thank yous to people who have really been instrumental in the last 6 months and continuing the success of what we've been doing here. First and foremost, the President's office is only 2 people, and I want to thank Patty Flogus for her service to me and to the college. She keeps our office running seamlessly and keeps me out of trouble on a daily basis. I truly appreciate her partnership in this work. Thank you, Patty. To the board, I am endlessly grateful for your support and for all that you are doing to support Henry Ford College. I don't know if you all know what the board has been up against these past 6 months as they have been engaging in the presidential search process here, the search for the superintendent at the P12, as well as filling 2 board vacancies and keeping the momentum going of just daily, board operations. It involves a lot of late nights, a lot of meetings, and time away from their families, and we are so appreciative of their leadership and their continued support. Thank you. And to the cabinet, we have been through a lot together over the years, and these last 6 months have been no exception as we have navigated the challenges and transitions. But we always pull together, and it continues to be such an honor to call you all my teammates. So thank you so much for your continued support. And last but certainly not least, I am so grateful to each and every one of you in this room for the way that you continue to come here every day, serve our students, serve our community, and give this place your very best, which, as we all know, is exactly what our students deserve and expect from us, and we are able to deliver in spades. I am so proud to be here at HFC and working alongside all of you. Thank you all for your continued dedication to Henry Ford College. We do have a couple of microphones here, and I think we've got a couple minutes for some questions if anyone would like to ask anything before we turn this over to Dr. Hill for the faculty organization meeting.
For the renovation of the building K, I know previously it is still there. We have to go like this and then go like this, and then the entrance for handicapped people or anybody who has to carry wheel is kind of a weird way. And sometimes you have to turn, and then it's actually I got hurt. That's why I was complaining. I was saying every time I go to that building, I would say, why would you go like this and that, and it's a slippery and everything. Is it going to be same way designed, or you are going to make it direct to go in there?
Well, I'm happy to announce that as part of the renovations in Building K, that is going to be a complete overhaul of the flow and the inside of that building, as well as the pathways to get to the building. One of the things that some of you might recall is that within the last year, we have also had an ADA compliance visit here at the college that called out some of these challenges and things that we had been actually grandfathered into as far as the way that walkways were set up, the way that doors were spaced, the height of various things. All of those challenges and things that are not currently compliant were noted as part of that visit. And in doing new construction, now we are going to have an opportunity to make good and make right all of those challenges that you have just expressed. So rest assured, things are going to look a little bit different in that building.
Eric Rader, I'm political science faculty and also president of Local 1650. I just want to acknowledge all the faculty who were involved. Lori acknowledged all of us, but in particular, we had a session on the Criterion 3, I think, which is teaching and learning, which is of a particular interest to the faculty, and the turnout in that room. The HLC team, I think, made a comment that they had never, at least one of them said they had never seen so many people at a session, at one of those types of sessions, and they do multiple visits at different institutions. But I want to thank all of we put out a call to all the faculty, both full-time and adjunct faculty, so thank you to all the members of Local 1650 and AFO, because that very much impressed the team, I know, and I've talked to Lori about that, so thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. Yes, it was a very dramatic moment in that session from what I understand. There were so many people in the room here in Rosenau. We had to open the wall, bring in more chairs. The peer review team was very impressed by our faculty's dedication and did say they have never seen anything like it at any other institution.
And I'm Michael Hill. I'm English faculty and the chair of the faculty org and the faculty senate. And Dr. Gonko, you expressed your appreciation for so many teammates, for all of us. I want to express my appreciation for you and the work you've done in the last number of months. You have provided us with steady leadership, with confident leadership, with leadership that has advanced us institutionally and effectively as an academic body. I cannot thank you enough for stepping in and leading us in a way that we haven't been led in years, and it's with great appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you. My honor, my privilege. You guys are going to get me emotional up here. Thank you, truly, thank you so much. I'm honored. Well, maybe I'll stop what you say. Let's go out on that high note, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Hill for our faculty org meeting, which will begin in 15 minutes. All right. Thank you all.